We are at a very precarious situation aboard the top deck of the Northwest. Our new captain, Lockjaw, after spending the evening amongst the officers, sort of finding out that there were different camps of people that had different feelings and support for some of the officers or who might take control. As Lockjaw is voted in and named captain, there are about a third of the crew, led by two individuals, Baldwin and Tig, who are none too happy about this. Tig calling out Lockjaw, saying she has two options. She can either, as her first order as captain, order for a melee to happen, and who knows how much of this crew, small crew that it is now, might die in the process, or Lockjaw and Lockjaw's choice of executive officer, her number one, can face off against Tig and Baldwin. After a little bit of internal struggle between Will and Lockridge, it seems that we have landed on Lockridge as her XO, or at least the XO during this fight. Is that we got that correct?
Yeah, I need the muscle of Lockridge, but I would like Will's brain.
So as Tig and Baldwin settle down into very much a fighting stance, and we see that the crew has cleared out so that the open middle of the top deck is there. They drop down into a fighting stance, and I would like to have everyone go ahead and roll for initiative. And don't forget, click on your character first then roll your initiative.
Forget that.
Quick bookkeeping question while people are rolling initiative. I know that last session we all got inspiration from the chat. Do we still have that if we didn't use it, or is that a session? Cool.
Yes, all of your inspiration is still
thank
and
goodness.
Kicking. You do not need to worry about that. All right.
Lockridge.
Wheels at 8. It's at 13.
I'm at the 14 now. I am.
And I had to do all of that. And unfortunately, roll 20, I had not cleared out the thing, so I'm going to clear everybody anyway.
What?
and then add you manually back in. So, oh well.
Rats.
Alrighty. Nah, that's all right. All right. So we had, but I remembered what you had. So don't worry about that.
So after all the guff of telling us how to do it correctly.
Yeah, and you did it very nicely. And I guess, yeah. And well, but the thing is roll 20 functioned exactly the way that it's supposed to. I'm the one that made the mistake.
You know, and the lesson today is it's good to admit when you've made mistakes.
Alrighty. So that will put all of you there. Well,
Alright. Who's ready for some fighting? Not me.
That might be a problem.
Really too bad.
That really is too bad. So go ahead and take a look. Take a look at the map. This is where we find ourselves with all of the jostling. Those groups of crewmen, remember, represent groups. So it is a fairly crowded deck that we have there. It's a lot of shoulder to shoulder and a couple of people deep as we sort of watch this fight that's happening. And you can all tell, well, I'm not going to say what you can tell. It is a rowdy crowd. It is a rowdy crew, but they do seem to be allowing this 2-on-2 fight to happen. As we go there. Now we do need to add in.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're all rolling. Just wondering how many people are truly going to be involved in this fight.
What? Alrighty. So, with a 16, Tig is up first. So, what you see happen is you see that Tig closes in and sort of hunkers down a bit, just off to the side of the wheel, and seems to take up a bit of a defensive position. And she has 2 daggers that she's pulled out. But she closes and, like I said, takes up a bit of a defensive position, sort of waiting to see what happens, or maybe that's about as far as she's able to make it. But that's at a 16. 14, Lockridge, that brings us up to you.
All right, just so that I don't get too carried away, is this a fight to the death, or is it a fight for dominance?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, surely there's going to be some established rules about this.
That is a 8.
These two people just said, you're not the captain. If you think you're the captain, we think we're going to make a better captain. There can only be one captain, so...
There can be only one. All right, well, you know what? I would ask Lockjaw, but, you know, like I've already got some blood on my hands, so I'm just like, what's a bit more? You know, I mean, hey, we were having food shortage problems. I mean, this also solves it.
Well, I guess the thing is as well, even if we just downed them, like, that's mutiny. We'd have to kill all of them anyway.
That's true. You would probably know that Lockjaw would know that Lockridge would be going for the kill. We worked together long enough that I wouldn't say Lockridge doesn't have any chill, but he doesn't hesitate unless there's previously established, it's a bar fight. You previously established you don't kill people in a bar fight. This is not that. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to use an athletics check and try to basketball palm this woman's head. My intention is...
I can just push her over.
I'm literally going to tie her neck... Well, I mean, not this round, but in subsequent rounds. I'm going to tie her neck to the harpoon gun's anchoring rope. And I'm then going to fire the harpoon gun out into the astral sea and send her along with it. Because...
All right.
Yeah, but I'm doing this in, like, the most, like, kind of, like, hippopotamus way that I can. So step one is I'm going to try and establish a grapple.
We do this the
before you do that,
hippopotamus way.
1 second before you do that, please. You are about here as you close in near the wheel. I need you, Lockridge, to make a Dex saving throw.
I choose to fail.
Okay.
It is a choice.
So, as you... Nope, that's absolutely fine. So, as you're moving, you know, this morning as everyone gathered and everybody was milling around, you know, there was a good half an hour or so before everything got started. You know, this isn't just a quick thing. And as you close in to Tig knowing what you're going for here, a truly wonderful and brilliant thing, you step over one of the rope lines that just happens to be laying near this wheel, and in a flurry of like green and yellow magical essence, this rope animates, wrapping itself around you, and you are suspended, your head 3 feet above the deck of the floor, hanging from nothing, tangled in this snare. You are restrained, and at the end of your you can make a Dex saving throw at the end of your next turn in order to try to succeed. So you don't quite close, and you are now suspended from this magical rope in the air.
Will had something.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a perception or an arcana roll to figure out the source of that?
The source of it? Make an arcana roll.
Because if someone else is throwing spells around, I want to know about that.
Because Tig,
that would be good to know.
Yeah, because Tig's got a blade in each hand, right?
That's just an 8.
Yeah, the source of the magical rope is the magical rope. I mean,
Fair.
You watched it happen.
Could I make an insight roll to see if Tig is surprised that happened?
You were more focused on trying to figure out where the spell came from to have the time to be now focusing on what Tig is doing.
Fair point.
All right, that would bring us to Lockjaw.
Well, I've only taken a move action then at that point, right?
You are restrained.
Do I still not get an action?
You can't do anything else.
Well, I mean, because it's rope, right?
At the end of your turn, you can make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah, but what if I just want to
get
destroy the rope?
Yeah, you could he fight the rope?
As in, it's rope.
You can try. You can make a dexterity. It is a magically enlivened rope that has bound you through the power of just rope and magic, suspending from nothing in air.
All right, I'm with you.
You can try to make a dexterity saving throw to get out of it.
Cool.
But I don't know that you make that now. I think you make that at the end of your next one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to trigger whatever this was, regardless. So yeah.
At the end of each of its turns. So no, you actually can make that now.
Okay. Cool. I will do that then.
Yeah, I'd probably say go for it.
So that's only a 12.
Try and get out if you can.
Yeah. So no, you struggle, or you're trying to aim your gun at it or something like that, but this thing has you bound up tight.
Right. Because restrained only reduces my speed to 0. It doesn't actually eat up my regular action though.
You Restrained
I think
there.
Restrained, you can make attacks at disadvantage. I want to say. If it's the restrained condition.
Let's just double check what it is. Either way, whatever restraint is going to do, it is going to be Lockjaw's turn at this point.
Okay. Well, is there the possibility that anyone can bring me a pint of ale? I know I said I'd quit drinking. I said I'd quit drinking, but this is a special occasion.
If you want to take the time to ask the mob of nearly combative crew to bring you something, I will count that as taking a potion and as your action for this turn.
I think, but I can take it in the turn.
What's that?
But I can actually take it and drink it in this turn.
I mean, if that is what you want your turn to be,
yeah.
But I'm gonna say in all of this, in the 6 seconds that this is happening, if you're going to bum a beer from somebody, that is what you're going to be doing this turn.
Great, that's fine. Well,
make a persuasion check.
If I'm gonna be dancing, if I'm gonna be dancing with Jack Ketch,
make an insight check for me real quick, please.
Nope, that didn't. Did it roll? No. Oh, sorry. The first one's a 5.
Your first one's a 5. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
The reason why a third of your crew doesn't want you to be captain
is
because they don't trust you to make a sober decision and keep them safe.
Yeah.
And the arguably rightful XO had a long conversation with you last night about whether or not you are a capable captain, because a lot more than 1/3 of the crew isn't sure that you can make a sober choice.
So what I'm hearing...
I'm going to say in a moment of near sober clarity that dawns on you, but you can make whatever choice you like.
So what I'm hearing is I should have a... No, I shouldn't, but I don't want to use this. You know what? I have this staff. I'm going to use it. Because my main thing of needing a pint was so that I could heal myself.
You're healed.
But... Sorry?
You're not missing hit points. Everybody should be at full hit points for this.
Yeah, we've had a long rest.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, you slept through the night. You had a little breakfast.
Yeah.
A little breakfast, a little mutiny.
Totally ignore that, because I thought I was on 8 HP.
No.
I was like,
no, you're
I know I said I quit drinking, but I need
you were at a whopping
myself.
23.
Great, no worries. Then what am I? Yeah, I'm not concerned.
All of that was a momentary flash in your mind of how things could have gone, and then you realize where you are.
I think it's like it's literally a withdrawal thing of like he's used to before a fight downing a glass and getting in, and he sees all of like the faces around him, remembering the talk he had with Will, and it's like it's gonna be strange going in to fight sober, but that's what I owe to my crew. So Tig has moved closer. Where is she? All right.
She is right up here next to the wheel, not the will.
Yeah, the will.
Baga.
What's the range? Oh, okay. I could do I haven't tried hideous laughter. I think now's the time.
You're 5, 10,
yeah.
You are 30 from her. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the range.
She's within it.
Excellent. Well, then I'm gonna try casting hideous laughter. What does she need to pass? She needs to pass a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw? Love it. Fantastic. Where's my save? That's a critical fail, so
Yes.
no fail
um.
All right. So what?
What's the barb
what
that
is
I'm
this?
gonna use?
What does this look like? Go for it.
I think Lockjaw, instead of like reaching for his scimitar, just like grabs his kind of loot. Oh god, I didn't even think of a song for this kind of thing.
Hey, that's fine. Improvisational musical theater. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, right. Some Tom Waits, why not? Oh, let's give it a go. The higher that the monkey can climb, the more he shows his tail. Oh, no man happy till he dies. There's no milk at the bottom of the pail. God builds a church, the devil builds a chapel, like the thistles that are growing on the trunk of a tree. All the good in the world you can put inside a thimble and still have room for you and me. And like, as he's kind of like, you know, strumming, he just kind of like gets more and more animated until like her heaving laughter is almost like in time with the music.
I love it. Absolutely. Yeah, and you see as Tig starts this kind of uncontrollable laughter, and actually, Lockridge, your vantage point, you can see it even better. She's laughing, like clearly she's laughing, but like her smile is so wide that like her lips are starting to chap, and like her mouth is open so wide as she laughs that like it almost looks like her jaw is starting to distend. But it has an effect that like some of the people that are nearest to her are backing up, like they don't know why this is happening, but what it looks like is that she's so overcome with laughter on the heels of what happened to Lockridge. Like they don't have any. She looks just absolutely psychopathic.
What can I say? With me as captain, we'll have some laughs.
Do we want to do any movement?
Yeah, I just checking out what I can do from now. Yeah, I guess I would like to get in, because I mean my main thing is with a scimitar. I think I'd just like to be kind of in line with Lockridge, because how close can I get?
I mean, you can yeah, he's about 20-25 from you, so you can.
Yeah, because then we could flank it.
That wheel will act as difficult terrain to clamber over the top of.
Yeah, that. Okay. I'll move so I'm kind of like alongside Lockjaw.
Okay.
Lockridge. Damn it! I did it! That's my first one.
So you are and since his head is like his whole body is in the air and his head is like at your elbow as he's just hanged suspended in air, tangled up, messing with this thing.
Do I have any bonus actions that I can help with him? No, but I can give you an inspiration.
Yeah, be good.
You know what, Lockridge?
Don't tell me to hang in there.
I've seen you.
Don't tell me to hang in there.
I was gonna say I've seen you get into worse positions, so I'm sure you can get out of them. And I tap you on the foot, and that's my bardic inspiration. There you go. You got one.
Right.
That's all. That's
fantastic. Nice. That brings us to Balwin's action. Balwin's turn. So yeah, he is going to. He's got 30 there. So he closes in and jumps up on the wheel. So he is just a little bit higher, which does put him in pretty good height and range of Lockridge, and he has this. He has a flail that he has sort of spinning at his side as he charges up, and he takes a swing at you with that.
Ooh.
With a 20.
That'll hit.
Okay, and so that's 10 points of damage there.
Woof.
And taking an action surge, he flails backhanded from the follow through to attack again. And that is a 19.
And 19 will hit.
And
Ugh.
there we go there for 5 points of damage.
That's not so good.
So after those, so I believe he can. I just want to check and see if he has. Yes, he can. So he will expend a superiority die here to make this a goading strike against you, Lockridge. So I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it's an 11.
11 will fail. Any attack not made against Balwin from you is at disadvantage.
Nice.
As he strikes at you, you see him sort of grin. He's an older older human. And so just sort of as he strikes you, he kind of grins, is missing a couple of teeth. And where your position is, like, you can smell his breath, and you hear him kind of grumble at you that, I think that your head would make a pretty addition to my walls. And you're enraged enough that he is your target.
It's messed up, man.
All right. And with that, we have a held action, and then it will be Will's turn.
To cast a spell without it looking like you're casting a spell, is that deception or sleight of hand, or what? What
does
is
it
that?
have? Does it have semantic components?
Yes, it does. It does have semantic components.
Then let's do a sleight of hand.
Okay. So Will is sort of going to put their hands back against the railing and sort of lean back, and then sort of come forward, shaking one of their hands and swearing, and a couple drops of blood flick onto the deck. And they're going to cast Bane on Tig and Balwin.
Throw the sleight of hand first.
Sure thing.
Okay.
That is a 13. I am going to use where is it? Knowledge from a past life. To add a d6 to that.
Nice.
Okay, roll the d6.
That's 6, so 19 total.
So it's a times 19. Now I need you to roll that percentile die. I
Yep.
believe we are at 60.
It's 60 or 65, but I trust you. That is a 53.
Okay. Cool. Okay, yeah. So 19 was your sleight of hand. So go ahead and cast Bane.
So they
Or
need
is it
to
a
make
save from them?
They need to make a charisma saving throw, DC 16.
All right, Balwin's is going to be first. It's a fail for Balwin. And Tig. Does Tig have disadvantage on this because of hideous laughter?
Sorry, let me just double check.
I mean, she's gonna fail. I'm looking at her stats. She's definitely gonna fail. But I just want to make sure.
Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. I think it says each time it takes damage, they can make another wisdom saving throw, but this isn't damage. This is.
But
Bane, right?
she's not receiving a disadvantage on the save against this. So okay.
No, I think it says the target has advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. But yeah.
Nope, fails it as well. So also is baned.
So they both have a minus 1d4 on any attack rolls or saving throws that they make for the duration of that spell.
Lads, today feels like a good day to stop drinking.
Indeed. All right. Will, fantastic. That was that we'll see how that comes into that. All right, so that happens. I need to make a check real quick. Okay. Something else does or does not happen, and that actually takes us to Ruin.
Okay, so it's just Exo and Caps facing off, potential Caps facing off.
Yeah, with sort of the whole crew sort of ringed around it. Some people are cheering for the Locks. Some people are cheering for Tig and Baldwin. Some people are just cheering because it's a fight. Some people are clearly not happy that this is happening. Like, there's a lot that's going on with it, but this sort of ring is just sort of existing, letting this fight happen because there's enough people in this that it looks like this is going to determine the captaincy.
Okay, so then I am just going to kind of move forward a little bit to get closer into the circle of people. And just ready in action if it looks like somebody who's not supposed to be in the fight is going to physically interfere.
Love it. Absolutely. Will you also make an insight check for me, please, with a just flat insight check?
Also would love it if you could start a wave going.
Yeah.
Maybe get a big inflatable beach pool.
Okay.
That is 6.
Yeah. So yeah, you're looking around, especially immediately around you, and there is there's some groups that are up on the stair rail, sort of where you are, that we're cheering on, that you certainly are keeping a little bit more of an eye on, as well as that Thrycreen, who nobody has asked him his name, is sort of standing next to you, who is very like sort of just detachedly interested in what it is that's going on. Like, oh, this is neat. This is how this crew does things. Like you don't, I mean, there's not a lot of facial expressions on a mantis, but you think that he maybe thinks that this is what's supposed to be happening?
Yes. Why not?
All right. Sweet. That will take us back up to the top of the order. Tig's held action. Actually, that's an interesting question. A held action expires at the end of the combat round, which technically that would be the end of that character's action, the end of that character's turn.
It expires at the start of their next turn.
Start of their next turn. So does Tig get their save now and then their next turn at the start of combat?
No, because it's at the end of their turn they get their
right, but their held action ending is what ends their turn.
No, their held action is a reaction then. Their turn stays on the same number.
Okay, cool. I like it. Anyway, then it's Tig's turn and rolls their wisdom save to try to get out of this.
Don't
Oh my
pass.
lord, no, not at all. So continues to just sort of writhe down on one knee, wickedly, maniacally laughing at the now sort of beaten and slightly bloody Lockridge hanging in air, but is not able to take any actions other than that. Lockridge, that brings us to you.
All right. So Lockridge is hanging from the air. He's still like not overly like. There's definitely no look of concern on his person, but his attention immediately turned from Tig to Baldwin when he hit him with the flail. This is because at this point in time, he's realized that this is a magic rope able to suspend a hippopotamus 3 foot off the ground. I'm not going to waste my time trying to break free or trying to rid myself of it. It's just pointless at that point. Especially with restrained, it's like a negative to my dex saves, and it's like, yeah, my dex isn't great to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just turn my shotgun directly into Baldwin's face. And I'm going to burn one of my grit to give myself advantage and negate the disadvantage that would be given from me being restrained. And shoot him square in the face.
Let's do it.
So that's just a straight roll.
Ah, that's awful. That is a 9.
That is a 9, and that will, you got your line of, you've got it lined up, and then just your sort of centrifugal force shifts you a little bit, and this buckshot goes just like directly between Baldwin and Lockjaw, like just shoots the space right between the two of them.
Right. I'm then going to burn my action surge, and I'm going to burn my inspiration from last week, my group inspiration, to give myself advantage and counteract the disadvantage.
Nice.
That second shot, which is a 22 to hit.
A 22. Can he? You hit him. I'm seeing if he can do anything about it. No, he cannot. Yes, so that hits. Go ahead and roll the damage on that.
All right, that is 16 points of damage.
Nice.
Which I'm going to use Astral Spark to turn that into 18 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
Okay. He takes it. Like, you blast him just in the shoulder, and you can see that. So he is. He's wearing. As you blast him in the shoulder, just, and it shreds the jacket and the tunic and the shirt that he's wearing, and you can see chainmail underneath his clothing that your shotgun has just bent a bunch of the individual chains so that they're like stapled into his chest now, and you've shredded. You can see meat and a little bit of the bone of his shoulder, of his offhand under there. And you see that he just clenches his teeth hard as he takes it, but doesn't fall to a knee, doesn't fall off of his thing, and you can see just this big masochistic grin across his face as he steadies himself and starts twirling his flail.
Oh, good, because we're not done yet. When I hit someone with my blunderbuss, both he and Tig need to make a dexterity save.
Is this for like fallout?
Yeah, just
or
the explosion.
It's a large shot? Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
What's the save?
It is a dex save of, pardon me, where are you here? 8 plus my proficiency plus my dex, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is the DC.
And they have
well,
minus
Tig-
D4.
Tig makes it fine with a natural 20, even with a D4.
Is Tig at disadvantage because of the hideous laughter?
Yeah, prone.
Still gonna make it.
Okay.
With an 18, which then gives Tig advantage to save against hideous laughter for taking the damage.
She hasn't taken the damage. So if she makes the save,
there's no damage if they save. It's not half damage.
No, it says hit on or miss.
Hit or miss. Okay, then never mind. And then Baldwin's. What's the save?
The save is 14.
14. All right. So got a 16. We've got that D4. It's a D4 for Bane, correct?
Yep.
So 4 will be enough. So he will take some additional damage.
Yeah.
That'll be an additional 8 points of fire damage.
Nice.
Okay. We're gonna look at this blunderbuss.
By the looks of him, he's been prepared for this.
Is your blunderbuss the Critical Role blunderbuss?
It is the Exandria blunderbuss, yes.
Okay.
I mean, look, I've had it since we did session 0. It was the only rifle that I had at the time before the Spelljammer stuff came out.
No, that's fine. We don't have to take the time to do it now.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna, I basically do that, and then as a bonus action, seeing him shot, burnt on fire, I'm going to simply cock an eyebrow and use my bonus action to use a second wind.
Nice.
And I heal 8 hit points.
Nice. Okay. That's beautiful, guys.
And that is all I do.
That's it. That was a hell of a turn, my friend.
Everyone, please set your expectations low for my turn. It's gonna
all
be
right,
like
that does bring us indeed to Lockjaw.
What's up?
Doesn't Lockridge make a save?
Oh yeah, make your wisdom save for the rope.
I thought it was a dex save.
Believe it's a wisdom save. Let me double check. Against the rope. I think it's wisdom for the we'll find out. Yes, it is dex. Sorry.
Okay. And I'm at disadvantage because I'm restrained. Which a 12 is not gonna make it.
Right. Alright,
that's me.
Lockjaw, that is now you.
Okay, so I don't look. Bolwyn is right in front of me. So I think
he's a little. He's sort of up on the wheel. He has the high ground, Anakin.
Well, how well did that work out for Anakin? Is what I want to say.
Right, but you have the low ground.
Yeah, it worked pretty well for Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, let's give it a go.
No, he doesn't. You're not at like a disadvantage or anything.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna. So I want to use my cantrip, which is Booming Blade, on my scimitar.
Okay.
So on a hit, the target suffers the weapon's attack normal effects and then becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of my next turn. So I think, he'll just kind of like wave a hand over his scimitar and it kind of pulsates with like a crackling energy. I will just cast that so it's in the thing so peeps can see. And then I'm gonna try and attack him with my scimitar.
Okay.
So let's give that a go. What's that? And 15?
That will it makes contact, but you sort of just hear the blade rake along the chainmail underneath and doesn't do any damage to him.
Okay. Says I get one. I don't know if I can use my specials now. Oh no, it's I take the attack action. No, I don't think I can use any of my specials because it's all dependent on whether a weapon hits.
Right, and this is not. You did not hit.
I not hit. No.
Yes. You did not deal damage with your hit.
Yeah. So, I think. Again, I'm not. I don't have a souped-up blunderbuss and all of that. So I don't think I can do anything. That's me.
Alrighty.
The joys of a D20 system.
Do you want to take any movement?
I
mean, doing so will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I think I'm just gonna stay put.
Alrighty. Nice. As Baldwin rears back with his flail, and his one arm just hanging very, very limply at his side, he sort of, as you spin, almost like the top of Thor Ragnarok, to come face to face with him again, he grins at you, Lockridge, and says, "I haven't felt this alive in years," and swings at you.
Give me a few minutes, I'll fix that.
Ah!
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, that's
Not
a sad
at
thing
all.
to hear.
That's definitely a miss there. Let's see.
Have you thought about some hobbies, Baldwin? Maybe a nice crochet. Oh dear.
Let's see. Let's make sure that. Damn it. I just saw something I should have had Baldwin do, but I didn't. I forgot, so that's on me. He will also, you see him sort of as he misses terribly and sort of winces and yells in pain. It's like the damage that you've cost him has done a lot, and he sort of closes his eyes and grits his teeth, and you can see like a tooth up front crack, and the gum starts to bleed under this sort of pain that he's wincing. But as he sort of sucks in his air and all that, I will say that Lockridge, you also recognize someone who is taking a second wind to regain a little bit of HP on himself.
What?
Okay.
What is this second wind nonsense? Back in my day, we just died.
In your day might be in a couple of minutes, so actually
back in your day, people used to pay gold for XP.
Actually, the way things are going right now, not too bad on your end of things. Okay. So that happens. There's some murmuring and rustling that is going on in the crowd. Some people are like, there's jockeying for position now, as some people don't want to watch this and some people want to get a better view. But that will take us to Will.
Will is going to just move this way, sort of give a better view of everyone, since Tig is currently sort of like down behind the wheel from where Will was standing. Could I just take a glance around, and we'll make mental note of who is cheering for Baldwin and Tig to win?
Make an investigation check.
Now, we don't keep grudges.
I assume you're using the royal lead.
Next disagree.
30-20.
Okay.
So just make a mental note.
It is good to know.
I mean, it's pretty easy for you to see that the people that sort of lined up behind them were cheering for them.
Is that
that's
crew
not
group 2?
3 and 5. They're closer to
3
the
and
stairs.
5. Okay.
The groups
And,
that are by the stairs.
And then I will hold an action with the trigger being when either Lockridge or Lockjaw lands a hit.
Absolutely. What is it that you're holding?
A spell.
What is it that you're holding? I need to know what you're holding.
Sorry.
Wouldn't
Mind
you
Spike.
like to know?
Mind Spike.
Say again.
Mind
Spike? Okay. Mind Spike. Got it. Ooh, it's a spiky mind. Spiky mind. Nice. Okay. What is that? Okay. Will make a perception check. What's your passive perception? Never mind. You're concentrating on something else. What's your passive perception?
Not good. 7.
Okay. So yeah. So nope. You are completely.
Oh, sorry, 9, but still no.
9.
9.
Okay. As you look at that,
Right, because you add your what's it called? Proficiency to passive perception. Yeah, 9.
okay.
Will is smart but not super observant.
Wow. Sounds like me in high school.
You do not see the source of what it is, but you do see just a little like leather, or not leather, like cheesecloth pouch get tossed through the air from the crowd, and you see that Baldwin like snatches it out of the air.
Do I see where it comes from, or just
Nope,
that
you
it
just
got
see that
tossed?
it just comes from the crowd.
Okay.
It comes from the crowd on the starboard side, your side of the ship. And again, those tokens that are on there are sort of representative. There are plenty of people around you.
So someone from Crew Group 5, probably.
If that's what you want to believe, go for it. Sweet. All right, Ruin, your shot.
I am going to continue to kind of edge around here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably here-ish. And continue to eyeball the crowd to make sure nobody gets twitchy and jumps into the fight, and then just be prepared to throw my spanner at them should somebody try and enter the fray.
Sure. You sort of, as you try to make that straight line across, you have there are like hands that grab you by the shoulder and pull you back a little. You realize that by trying to cut across the deck to other people, it looks like you're doing exactly what you're watching to make sure no one else does. And so they'll push you in this sort of U shape, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You could get all the way across to here as people sort of like bounce you. So and with that was sort of an insight that I was having you make earlier. There are other people that are making sure no one else interferes as well, and I think and they just kind of like, hey, no, stay back, da, 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 da.
Then I
But
won't
yeah,
fight
you
the
can
mosh
continue
pit.
to make your way across.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you can get one more farther. You can get to there. But that'll essentially be, so that's a held and your movement that'll do that. Do you have a bonus action that you can use?
Nothing really that I want to use now.
Okie dokie. So with that,
Loving this fight music.
yeah, it is some good music.
Courtesy of Sirenscape.
Yes, we love
Ooh,
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape.
They're the bomb.
Also, I saw your picture with Ben from Sirenscape during PAX. Hilarious.
Was that the one with my head in a
Yes.
movie? Yeah.
Ellen, can Lockjaw please make for me a charisma check? You need to beat a 12.
Okay.
Should be pretty doable.
Is this just a saving throw or just a...
Yeah, it's a saving throw.
Okay.
Should be pretty doable, I think, for Lock. Yeah,
19.
absolutely.
Yeah. He's just
yeah,
come
absolutely.
off a banger.
Well, yeah, and you hear like one real good biting like insult to your music comes sailing across the crowd. Like you hear it above everything else, and for a split second, like, oh, it starts to throw you off your game and distract you from the fight that's right in front of your face, but you sort of shake it off and you stay focused in on the fight that's happening.
Oh, everyone's a critic.
Indeed, everybody is. Everybody is.
Wow, if only I could do that in real life. No, it's fine.
I thought you meant heckle people. I was like, it's really not hard. It's just
I'm sure
a
you
dick thing to do.
probably can heckle folks.
No, just like hear a bad review and be like, that's fine. It doesn't affect me or the art I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you go home and just like stuff your head into a bucket of ice cream.
Yeah, I don't even eat it. It's just like waterboarding myself with ice cream.
And the grand irony
Anyway.
is it's Rocky Road.
D&D. What we like.
What's your AC, Lockjaw?
My AC, not that much. 12.
A 12.
Yeah.
Um,
What about it?
you are you hear that insult come in, and you are shaking it off, and sort of assessing what it is that you see, and there is a ray of orange and red magical fire that comes from the crowd and blasts you in the chest. You take 7
Ooh.
points of damage.
All right.
Can the rest of us tell at least which group that came from? If not a specific person necessarily, but
this crowd keeps jostling and moving around like I was talking about. The sense of whose group is whose has been lost at this point.
Okay.
Like it's like trying to figure out, oh, who are the mechanics in a football stadium?
Yeah.
Well, it's more like, is it the group of people who are on the quarter deck or the group of people who are towards the stairs that lead below deck is more the generality.
You are focused on your 2 friends and see one of them get hit. Like you're waiting for something very specific to happen. You're certainly surprised what this is, but you weren't sitting around scanning the crowd for this to happen.
All right, I just meant like, did it come from behind me or from in front of me?
You are what I don't know how else to say it. You
That's
told
fair.
me very specifically what you were looking for. Something else that you don't like happens, right? Like
That's
you're
fine.
6 seconds.
I'm not going to argue. You're good.
Yeah.
All right.
I am going to point out, I feel as though this crew has taken a huge shift from that, like, the previous captain who ran it, like, you know, super disciplined and stuff like that, to, like, this group of pirates. Like,
It's
you know,
just,
yeah.
Yeah, the super disciplined captain is dead, and a captain that a good number of them have reasonable things to distrust just took the captaincy, and then one person stood up and said, "Not on my watch."
Oh no, I meant like the
crowds
the
can
snaggletooth.
Crowds can shift very quickly.
You know.
So this Thrycreen is sort of watching everything that is going on, and hasn't seemed to know too much what's happening super well. But then seeing what all of this is, and seeing sort of what it is that's happening. You hear it because Thrycreens will communicate telepathically, but they have their own verbal auditory language, and so there's this series of clicks and chirps and hisses that come from the dude. What are your hit points at, Lockridge?
Mine, I have 33 hit points remaining.
Okay, so yours are still there. Lockjaw, what are you at?
Why do you
just
need
took
to...
some.
No, I'm 20.
You're down to 20. I'm updating what's on the actual screen itself.
Not looking for things.
So there's her go.
Killing 20 HP.
All right. Roll. That will be 1d. Plus spell casting. So you all, Lockridge, you feel some of those like blunt force trauma wounds and bruised bones knit themselves. You heal 7 points of damage. You also watch some of the exposed muscle and bone heal itself up on Baldwin. It seems that this Thrycreen isn't completely sure what's going on, but didn't think what was happening is fair, and did something to heal both you and Baldwin.
Fair enough.
I mean, bless them. They've their spirit's in the right place.
He doesn't. I see.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little confused, but he's got the idea.
got the spirit.
And that takes us up to Tig, who I believe gets their try to save at disadvantage. Has done absolutely nothing this fight. Has done one thing this entire fight. What is that? The wisdom at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Why are they at disadvantage?
Because of the laughter. It gives them disadvantage on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize spell gave them.
Isn't that what you had said?
What I said.
She had disadvantage last turn.
Against a dexterity save. Because
against a dex.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
exploded her.
Well, then never. Yeah, and
Yeah.
your save is a 12.
So she just needs to make the save.
So she is able to make that one. So does that mean she
Okay.
gets her turn, or does that just mean she can get up?
It's at the end of her turn.
I think
so
she
her
needs
turn's
to
over when she
save.
makes the save.
It's the end of her turn. Okay, so her
Yeah.
turn ends, and she finally stops and is like her breath is heaving, and she looks up and just glares, and.
Did she
But
make it by
this-
enough that Bane might not stop her from making it?
Does Bane? How long does Bane last?
It's concentration for a minute.
Then yes, absolutely. So yeah, if she rolls a 3 or 4, she will not make it. There's the 4. Nope, she doesn't. She stays on the ground. She's still laughing.
Yay!
Absolutely.
It was a good
Alrighty.
one.
Lockridge, that's you, buddy.
Cool.
Feeling a little bit better?
I'm on full health now.
Nice, nice.
Then they're
yeah,
also feeling better. which
Baldwin
sucks.
is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. See.
Wait, you're on full health. He did 17 points of damage to you.
But then I healed 8.
You just healed 7.
Yeah, but I healed 8 from my second win.
Oh, from your second win. There you go.
All right. So he doesn't have that goading thing on me, so I no longer have disadvantage if I target someone other than him. Is that correct?
I believe goading is still a part of it. Let me double check. It's still up because we haven't gotten to his turn yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, no. It would have been the end of last one.
Yeah.
So no, goading is no longer on you.
All right. So I'm going to shoot Tig. Which, because Tig is prone, I would have advantage. Because I am being hung, I'm at disadvantage. So that just simply negates the...
being prone and a ranged weapon actually gives her advantage.
does it? Oh.
Yes.
All right. In which case, I will...
It is a rule I do not particularly agree with in most situations, but...
Right. Okay. In which case, I will... I will shoot at Baldwin then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Keep shooting. Oh!
With disadvantage, that is a 10.
Yeah, no, the shots just sort of glance off of him. Nothing lands hard enough.
I do still have Lockjaw's.
You have my inspiration.
Is that a D6 or a D8?
Let me double
I
check.
think you're at a 6 now.
Yeah, I believe
All right,
so.
I think I'll take the miss. I'll hang on to.
Yeah, a D6.
Yeah, I'll hang on to that.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so I will.
And you're at
just a
disadvantage because you're still in the rope.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So long as I'm in the rope, I'm at disadvantage on that.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna try. Well, I mean, at the end of my turn, I get the saving throw, which is a disadvantage, which a 9 won't make it. Yep. Oh, I got a.
You
I
can
got a
use
5.
inspiration.
5.
Yeah.
Well, so now you didn't use your inspiration, so if you want to try to use it on the 5.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to be helpful, and then I realized your lowest roll was super roll.
Yeah.
No, man, use it.
No,
You
I
might
think
get
you
there.
can make it. I think you can make it.
All right, Lockjaw.
And then people wonder why we don't trust DMs.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I didn't even get to finish my turn before I ended up in this thing. I was like,
I see that you're at a crossroads.
yeah, no, I'm happy to keep fighting this way, and roll with the punches.
Yeah. Old friend, do you need help out of that rope, or should I just keep slashing in front?
I'm gonna imagine that Lockridge can't speak with the rope around his neck.
You know what? I'm gonna keep slashing, and I'll help you out later.
his gun says yes. His eyes say, "Please help me."
Okay. Well, let's. Does my booming blade still? I mean, it's a cantrip, so I guess I can just keep casting it before I.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
So your attack is sort of the material component. Of that cantrip.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'm gonna try it again to hit. Okay. So that's the booming blade, and let's go in swinging with my scimitar to attack Baldwin.
Okay.
And if I'm lucky. Oh, that's a 20. I don't know, I went Italian. That's a 20.
That's a 20. It's a nice hit.
Oh, that's so beautiful. 20. So yeah, that's the 7. And then is it plus the 8
hit.
thunder?
And that's 8
So-
thunder. Like,
Yeah.
They will. So they are sheathed in this energy. If they willingly move, they will take the thunder damage.
Okay, so then they will take 8. Excellent.
Yeah, if he chooses to move, he will. But for right now, it's just the scimitar damage.
Great.
Oh,
Okay. Well, then I would like
which was
to...
the 7.
Brilliant. Yes.
He also should make a wisdom saving throw because he just got hit. And that triggers my reaction.
A held action lasts until the end of the combat round, not until the beginning of your next turn.
That was my misunderstanding, and then there was no reason for me to have done that action because neither of the people that would have triggered my reaction go between my turn and the end of the combat round.
Okay, I mean, so much has happened. I think that's just a learning experience. Let me double check it, but I'm pretty sure that is the.
No, I'm fine with going with your ruling. You're the DM, but all right, cool.
Well, I don't want this to be your ruling. It is the rule. That's why I said I'll double check it.
Okay.
While you do that, I'm gonna. Why I keep going Italian? I'm gonna use my slashing flourish. So I can use one of my bardic inspiration to cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target I hit, and to any other creature of my choice that I can see within 5 feet. So I'm going to choose to also try and hit Tig? No, I can't do that.
She's out of
range. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it just has to be Baldwin.
Ready action does say before your next turn. Before the start of your next turn.
Okay. Then
So
let's do that. Then go for it.
Okay.
So that's a wisdom saving throw?
Saving throw.
Nice.
And just with my slashing flourish, I do 5 extra damage to Baldwin.
Aha.
Yes.
It's 5 there.
Excuse me.
Nice.
I imagine Lockjaw just kind of like...
Start of your next turn. All right, that's good. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Awesome.
Wisdom 16.
No, does not do it.
All right.
Ooh.
What is the damage on it?
That is going to be 3d8 damage. One moment. So that is 11 psychic damage.
Fantastic.
Oh, sorry,
Alrighty.
18. I accidentally rolled twice. The first one was 18. Yeah.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Oh, yes.
Lockjaw, can you make a dex saving throw for me, please?
Oh, wow. Okay. Nope.
Okay. So
Swings and roundabouts.
you are
just
now
screw
prone.
me on this one, Tucker?
No. So Lockjaw, you are now prone. You take no damage as the limp and lifeless, the limp and bleeding body of Baldwin, as he drops his flail and grabs his head and starts screaming, and like passes out as he's screaming and lands on you. You're pinned under him. So it'll take half your movement to roll him off of you and get up on your next turn. Baldwin is effectively out of this fight.
I love the slapstick of like Lockjaw goes in, like gets a nice kind of like stab, like with his scimitar.
You did, no.
And then like Baldwin just like starts falling, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
I like the idea. So you get this amazing hit, and the crowd cheers, and Lockjaw knows how to work an audience, and then, for reasons no one else knows, he grabs his head, screams, passes out, and then lands like sort of your back is turned and just lands and takes you down to the
Shit.
There is a significant portion of the crew that cheers at this. So it seems like now that someone has fallen, whether they're just being fickle or whether it was people just really love seeing the fight, it looks like quite a lot of people are happy that the true captain is on the winning side now.
People just like a good show, right?
That takes us to Baldwin's turn. So he makes a death saving throw. And fails.
Yay!
So he is at 1 failed death save. And that brings us to your turn.
Will is going to say to Vilya, help me move him out of the way so he doesn't get hurt more, and move to pull Baldwin out of the fight so he's not getting trampled. Does Vilya move to help Will?
Make a persuasion check.
That's going to be a 26.
So great. Vilya nods pretty readily and comes with you to do that. Do you go in to try to grab Baldwin now?
I mean, I say that loudly, and I'm clearly trying to stay out of it, just trying to move Baldwin even 5 feet away.
Right,
So,
I understand. Are you going in now to do it?
Yes.
Okay. So Baldwin is laying on top of Lockjaw. To get to Baldwin, you are in the.
It would look like interference then. So never mind.
So what happens is like as you guys are there ready, like there are some other guys that like they don't actually touch you. They just sort of have their hands out, like not yet, but as soon as he's clear, go for it. Essentially, is what they're doing, and like they turn to you and like, hold it a second. Good idea, sir.
Can I stop him from bleeding out?
As soon as he's off the captain. Actually, yeah, we're gonna say that is canon. The people that you're talking to, this one says the captain in reference to Lockjaw. Absolutely,
I like that.
In that case, since Will had not used all of their movement, they'll take a couple steps back towards where they were, and will immediately be spending their turn scanning group 3 and 5 to look for interference, and will ready a reaction of using, I can't remember what it's called, Fey Presence if they see someone interfering.
So, once... Oh, no, because Lockjaw's going to move before you do. Okay, so great. The markers that say group 3 and 5, those are no longer a cohesive group. So you're essentially going to be scanning as much of the bow and port side of the ship as you can. I just want to make sure I'm not misleading that these groups are still clumped.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
That's fine. Will's just looking at that half of the ship basically, because
fantastic.
That is where they suspect interference might be coming from.
And now that has decided Vilya's turn, so Vilya is holding their action with you. Ruin, that brings us to you.
I am going to continue to push through the mosh pit.
Yep.
Let's see, 1, 10.
I mean, if you wanted to make your shot as captain, now's the time.
It's true. This is what he's been waiting for. See how he's behind you?
You just watch me dive overboard. Gotta make my move. My power play.
Just remove yourself from the situation.
The whole fight stops and everyone turns and says, he really was the best of us.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
So I just continue to work around the edge to right there, making sure I don't get too close so I don't get yoinked back into the mosh pit again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just continue to kind of scan and look and see if anybody's getting fidgety on, either side. And just hold an action in case I gotta whack somebody upside the head.
I love it. Absolutely. You have it. Da, 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 da.
The hashtag started again.
Oh, no.
The hashtag did start again. And okay. Let's see if fourth time's the charm. It is Tig's turn. Tig will try to save this damn hideous laughter. That's
what can I
15.
say? I'm a funny guy.
So 15, so a 12. So if she rolls if she rolls a 4 like she has done the last 2 times, she won't save.
Yes, I forgot about the Bane.
I love Bane. It's
Very
a
good.
spell.
A 3. So there we go. She finally breaks the spell. She finally saves. Is panting, and all of that fun stuff. I'm gonna say, so look.
I mean, I'd say the real danger of hideous laughter is the potential of wetting your pants.
So I'm gonna
We don't have to go
say
there.
this. So narratively, this is the very end of her turn. You see Tig stands and is panting. All of this is done. She looks at you underneath and pulling a Baldwin off. She can hear the chanting of the crowd, and she can see just how badly Baldwin has been hurt. Tig first drops both of her daggers and then raises her hand in the air and snaps, and the rope disenchants, and you do not take damage because it's 3 feet, as you, Lockridge, are still tangled in the rope but fall to the deck. And a lot of the crowd cheers, and a number of folks sort of start murmuring and whatnot. Will, you are free to run forward at this point.
Yeah, Will just walks up and taps Baldwin, casts Spare the Dying.
Okay. Yeah, they are at one hit point. Is that it, or is it they're at 0? But
they're just stable.
They're stabilized. Yeah. So. So that is where we are. This is no longer a combat situation.
Oh dang.
I would say that the best thing now at this point is to Captain. What would your first actions be?
Ordinarily, for mutiny, you'd be keelhauled. But as we're down numbers, and while I know this misguided attempt was out of love for the Northwest, instead you'll be prisoners of her. You'll still need to do the work, but you won't get your shares. But you can keep your stinking lives. I think that's very generous, Tig, Baldwin. The offer's yours.
Baldwin remains unconscious at you.
Well, looks like you'll be speaking for your mate there.
Interesting.
It's a very hard decision.
It is a very hard decision. Make a either persuasion or intimidation, whichever one of those two you would rather it be, or I guess deception. You could be lying. So
yeah.
Of those charisma based ones, make whichever one you want.
Will is going to ruffle through their bag and pull out the contracts for Tig and Baldwin and a pen ready to amend them. If that's
Yeah, of course.
you
You absolutely have all 24 contracts on you at all times. Yes.
Lockridge,
You have
true.
a backpack that's basically one of those like folding like file things. Like
with Will's paranoia, they're not leaving that shit lying around.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
I was gonna say.
So
as Lockridge got let down, he's gonna move swiftly behind Tig and sort of kick out the back of their knees so that they're on the deck. And I've got my blunderbuss aimed square in the center of their back.
Oh, that's nice. I think intimidation is the go.
All right.
Because I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to do deception. I'm not lying. We need the. We don't have enough hands on deck to lose some.
Okay.
It's a 23. I think I'm pretty darn
23.
intimidating right now, seeing as I've only taken 7 damage this whole time.
Indeed. Well done there. Tig sort of looks up at you, and it's there is still a sense of pride in Tig, but not hubris, despite everything that has happened here. She's a proud sailor, and she sort of looks at Baldwin and looks at you, but before she responds to you, Lockridge, she looks at you, Will, and says, will he be making it?
Will,
what?
Yeah, it doesn't bother making a show of like checking the pulse or anything. They know that they cast Spare the Dying. Just
all right.
Nods.
I was unsure what she meant.
So she'll look Lockridge back to you.
Actually, sorry, Will's response will be, that's up to you.
Tig looks back to you, Lockridge, and sort of sighs and says, Baldwin took a frustrating amount of convincing. Leave him half his share. Forfeiting mine is more than a fair shake.
I think you're under no position to make deals here, Tig. When Baldwin recuperates, maybe that's a talk he and I can have. Again, I think I've been more than generous. And further down the line, there may be a way to earn your freedom back, but you will earn it. If I have to drag you across every barnacle I can, you can earn it.
She just sort of nods along and says, as long as you are willing to give him a fair listen to, I'll accept your terms. I accept your terms, Captain.
And that goes for the lot of you. I know there's trust to be earned, but it's 2 ways. I'm trusting you all to be able to keep the Northwest flying. And I'm gonna do the same. So what do we reckon? We put this ugliness to bed now. And what's the crowd kind of like sussing?
No, there's make another persuasion.
Yeah. Okay.
Make another persuasion with that. They're gonna react for sure. I just want to see how strong of a reaction this is.
Oh, that was
That's a natural 20, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as you say that, there is there's just this big burly half-orc woman that you talk to, the one that sort of headbutted you and you sort of won over. She's over on this group that's up on the quarterdeck, and you see that she like stands up on the railing, and the railing like creaks, and she's tall, so there like at this point her head is 20 feet in the air. She's this like 230-pound just muscular orc woman, and like as you are finishing it, you hear her just bellow out, "Well, you all heard the captain!" And there's just a cheer from everybody, like there is unanimous sort of consent amongst the rest of the crowd. You're able to, and I'll say especially Will, because you'd been looking for this thing, and Ruin, since you've been keeping such an eye, like you definitely sort of recognize some of the people that were standing on Tig and Baldwin's side of things, who now are incredibly like, they are cowed. They are very sheepish. They look like that's not how a sailor is supposed to act. And they are cheering as sort of a round of hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, goes around the ship.
How
and oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how is the Bolwyn is like stabilized, right?
Yeah, we'll say with this that Baldwin is is sort of coming around back to consciousness at this point. And this Thrycreen walks over, because you're sort of like, I don't want to say like cradling him in your lap or anything, but Will, you're the one that's got Baldwin as he starts to wake up, and like Baldwin's groggy but kind of is getting what it is that happened. And as this Thrycreen walks up to you, you hear in your head, you hear him say, "This one to live, he is meant to live."
Yes, that seems to be the order of things. By the way, I didn't quite catch your name. What was it? Just so I can write out the contract.
Hey, there we go.
Bureaucracy must be fed.
So first of all, you do see, Baldwin regains 7 hit points
Nice.
as his flesh starts to knit up, and yes, the Thrycreen, like in your mind starts to talk to you, and says, "My name, if you would, call me Tuck."
Doc. All right. Here, if you want to just put your mark here, and judging from this, medic.
Yes, they say more spiritual than a doctor.
Well, that's just fine. We actually don't have a medic on this vessel right now, and that would be a little bit of a pay bump for you other than just straight crewman. So I'm doing you a favor by doing this. I'll put it down as medic. Spiritual leader doesn't really pay too well on the ship.
Nor is it encouraged.
There's an incredibly like neat and tidy, almost looks like while you don't recognize the language of it, it almost looks more like a math equation than a written word that they put onto the signature line.
Great. All right.
Well, that's a few fires temporarily put out.
Tig and Baldwin don't resist as they are led wherever it is that they are to be led to. In fact, actually, let's see. What's the fun of this? In fact, they don't resist you taking them anywhere. However, yep, yeah. Who is taking them down below? Does the Northwest have a?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Do we have a brig? I guess we would have.
So you have a large storage area, and there is a very small storage area in the ballast that could easily be cleaned and cleared out to serve as a brig. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then that's where we'll have to escort them for now.
Yeah. Who is it? Who it can be one or multiple. Who is it that is escorting the two of them to this brig section?
Will can do it.
I mean, I'm happy to take him down as to give him a bit of a talking to as well.
Lockridge is looking for a moment to pull Lockjaw aside.
Well, should we take these two down then?
Sure.
All right. I'll be down later to revise actually the contracts of all four of y'all, because I think that Captain and XO, both of y'all need some modifications as well.
So just as a storyline element, as you sort of make the awkward corner down the steps to the second to the B deck, making your way down, they don't resist where you're taking them. It's impressive for how badly he is hurt. Baldwin clocks Tig like across her jaw. Just as they're out of your sight for one, not out of your sight, but out of your reach just for that 1 second as you go around a corner, you see him turn around and grumble, "Never should have listened to you." Bam! And you hear the jaw crack as he just haymakers her across the jaw. She gets herself up off of the floor, and this is the first time you see any semblance of regret for the situation that's just happened. But the rest of the walk to the brig is not problematic, and even putting them in the same room together, you don't think that that's going to escalate.
Yeah, as that happens, the first thing I'll immediately do is I'm gonna slam Baldwin to the ground, using my weight to kind of pin him, and if we hadn't done so already, definitely tie them up with rope.
Yeah, I'm like they'll allow that. Yeah, they'll allow that. Like they get it. They get what has just happened.
Easy with him. He's just we didn't save his life, now to just kill him again.
No, I understand what you're saying, Captain. But it's brought me some great concern here, because you're right. We haven't saved their lives. And nor do I think we should. I don't care if these two bilge rats hear what I have to say, but what I have to say is going to be very important, and know that I've got your back, Captain, and it's not in question. But I think that maybe you're a little too lenient on these two. There's a lot of murmurings about who's in charge. These two acted upon it, which is very different from having ideas or being able to express them in a way that is going to be able to make the crew better. They were willing, not only willing, but followed through with the idea of taking you off the board, and that I don't know if that's necessarily something that can be forgiven, or if something that we want to be showing the crew is something that is a forgivable action.
I understand your concern, Lockridge, and I'm glad as hell that I've got your back. But I think
there is another way, Captain, for you to keep your word, and of course let everyone know exactly what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
At this point, Lockridge kind of gets a bit somber, but makes sure that he says it low that no one else could hear except for the people in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll say that you've put them. I mean, unless you specifically want them to be hearing you, we can say that you guys can have they are stowed where they need to be. They're not going anywhere. And you guys can find us. You can find some privacy for this conversation.
Yeah, no, I want them to hear this because multiple reasons, which I'll reveal later.
Okay.
He says, your promise to take away their share and their cut and let them work their time here, I think is a little soft-hearted. This one here made it very clear that Baldwin is someone that they're willing to sacrifice for. And I think that can be rewarded, with Baldwin getting a full share, delivered as it is listed in the contract to their next of kin.
You're saying that we spare Baldwin?
No.
And let
I'm saying we make an example of Baldwin to make sure that Tiggs understands what comes from having turned members of the crew against its captain.
It's ruthless. I'm not saying I don't like it, but at this point...
Because it's easy for a person to sacrifice themselves. But sacrificing others sends a message, Captain.
I think what I want to do right now is send a message that this ship needs to establish some sense of normalcy. The tensions are arising because people don't trust me. And sometimes stamping down on that, well, stamping down on distrust is like trying to stamp down on marbles. They roll out from under you, cause bigger problems later on. And in terms of brass tacks, we need the manpower. We've lost too many already. The work could potentially kill them. But let's make sure that they're serving the Northwest as long as we got them. But the next time this happens, you're right, Lockridge. We need to send a message. But I think right now, there's just too much disharmony.
Aye, Captain. And I make sure that the two of them hear all of this. And I want to emphasize it as this is a razor's edge. And
yeah.
Lockridge is kind of like, what I want to imply here, and I don't want to necessarily intimidate here, is a Lockjaw is a good captain who will look after the crew. Lockridge is the boot that comes down if they try this shit again.
Sure.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
Oh. Ooh. This is a good little scene.
That's good. Yeah.
I like it when Lockridge is serious. It's chilling.
He doesn't like it.
Very
It's very much what I imagined, that whole, like, this is why I gave up the war, you know, kind of thing. Like, he is this way because of all of his campaigns and stuff, and now it's like, I just want to sleep and nap, right? And when I don't get to, when I have to be serious, there's another side of Lockridge.
Yep. You won't like me when I'm sleepy. All right. Well, with them locked away, I guess we go and rejoin the ship and see what bullshit's about to happen now.
Yeah.
Who's about to try and kill us now?
Nice. Well, as you guys rejoin the sort of the B deck, that second deck that's there, a lot of normalcy has returned. There are people that are at their positions that are doing their jobs. Lana walks up to you. Roll initiative. No. Lana walks up and says, "Well, now I haven't had to deal with a whole lot of mutinies before breakfast, but there's some sausage and some eggs and some fairly burnt coffee that's ready for you at the officer's table. You've got the comfy chair now," and sort of smiles and hands you a mug of coffee. Lockjaw.
Yeah. I guess this is what I have to get used to.
Indeed. The rest of the day continues. There's some conversation that gets picked up here and there, as already the fable, the myth, the story of how Captain Lockjaw claimed her captain's hat and her his rightful place doesn't necessarily match up with the facts of what happens. And for the fact that everybody was on deck, this story is starting to grow and change. And, you know, there's people that are accused of, like, I saw you backing up Tig, and it's like, oh, you're the one that rushed up and helped hold Balwin back as Captain Lockjaw sliced her open and Lockridge blew his ear off. Things that, like, the story is just growing immediately as it happens. I do want to cut, before we end this evening, I do want to cut over to later that night, as we are into a later in the evening, much more of well, you've already got a skeleton crew, but there's only 3 or 4 people on the top deck. Most folks are sleeping. But as we move into the engineering room set up with a smith's working station and alchemy and an arcanist's lab set up, as we see an empty room lit by only a few candles, and we see Ruin with one of the large crates, a crate that we saw earlier, that the Thrycreen was very excited to show to a couple of the officers. And as Ruin has gone over this and read it and had it described to him by Will, you start to see the ways that this contraption, it's both magic and machine, and it makes sense to you. It's like the magical construct turrets that you're able to halfway summon and halfway build, or the medical device that you're able to halfway conjure and halfway construct. That's a part of what it is that makes this work. and you're beginning to sort of tinker around with this. I would like for you to please make an Arcana or a sleight of hand check for me, whichever you would prefer.
That is a 16.
Nice. So as you're starting to build all of this, you feel something sort of just click into place. And as soon as you do that, you kind of hold this contraption with one hand and you pick up another little scrap piece of metal and it slides exactly where it's supposed to. And the whole mechanism turns and it opens and folds out into another almost origami-like thing. And you click a new couple of pieces and you start to reach for a bar of silver and you think better of it and you reach for brass and slide it in. And the little strip of brass almost seems to melt and fill in to the seams, and it's like this little engine is being built in your hands and it's guiding you as you build it together, and you can feel it pulse, or you can feel an emptiness to it. You can feel a longing or a desire from it. You can feel a need from this engine for some type of magical energy.
Is this something I can just will into it? Kind of imbue it with?
This is something that mechanically you can expend one of your spell slots and sort of narrate what that looks like and feels like to you as you not necessarily cast a spell, but burn a spell slot to imbue that magical force into this engine.
Get some flavor here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically the same way I would magically power one of my constructions.
Okay.
Just kind of being unfamiliar, just seeing what happens when I dump the same kind of focus and energy into that.
Nice. Yeah. What I believe it is. Yeah. So you dump that into it, and there is a glowing, somewhat metallic, somewhat liquid looking substance that fills the inside chamber of this engine, and it swirls with orange and blue essence that combines but always stays just a little bit separate, and you feel that this has charged. You can feel it still needs one last push over the edge to activate, to make this ready to go into the larger case, which you were able to figure out much earlier. The casing for this device that's fairly large, once it's built, you're estimating that it's probably a good 15 to 20 foot tall and maybe 6 or 8 feet wide. But a lot of that is just sort of wood and metal, and it's this thing that lives in its heart, the engine of this beacon. You can feel that it's imbued, but it still needs one other thing, and you're not really sure what that is. Do you choose to put more of yourself into it or to back away? You're not sure what it's wanting yet, but you can either, this is your chance to back off or to go deeper.
I think curiosity is going to momentarily get the best of me, and I'm going to push.
Nice. You can feel mechanically a second spell slot slip from you and fill it. A third purple color fills it, and it begins to hum. There's a slight vibration, and that need for one more something. You're not sure what. This is still such a strange machine, but you're so close to having it powered, but it needs one more push of something from within you.
I mean, there's no use starting a job unless you're willing to finish it.
So you push in?
Push in.
What Ruin doesn't know, because it's gone from him, is as he, with the best of intentions, not understanding, but also wanting to understand more, as the machine, as the engine powers itself, it pulls a memory which is forever erased from Ruin. That memory will be the brief flashback that we start with when we return in 2 weeks. Next week we're taking off, but when we're back, we will see the flashback memory from Ruin that is now gone forever as he powers the first ever created astral beacon, which will actually allow the crew to fulfill its mission. We'll see all of you guys in 2 weeks.